Hey guys, welcome to a new crypto video. I'm your host from Crypto Basket. Thank you all so much for watching today's video. Now before I get started, if you guys are new to my channel, make sure, like always, hit that subscribe button. With that being said, let's start today's video. I have to talk about this big and major Bitcoin move that's imminent, and here this lays it all together. If you look at the Fed, the ECB, and the Bank of Japan, the blue line is the liquidity, and you could see when their liquidity goes up. What happens with Bitcoin, it goes up too. So if we start seeing a liquidity injection once again from all major banks, guess what? That's going to happen. It's going to drive things really higher, and that's what a major move right there. It could be imminent. Now I say short term because we know in long term what the consequences are, and they are not good in long term. More liquidity injection means more inflation. That means tackling inflation is going to be harder, but many countries, they are weighing their options. They think that injecting liquidity is more important now than reducing inflation. Like being in Japan, just have absolutely no care for inflation. Right now, they don't care how high inflation goes. They just want to spur up their economy. And the same thing with China. They want to kick things. They want to kickstart things and increase production. They don't really care about inflation. So if we see all these banks join together and start injecting massive liquidity and buying asset once again, well, that is going to be fantastic in short term, and in long term, it's going to be fantastic for Bitcoin, because this is the very reason why so many have turned to Bitcoin, because they don't want this to happen. They don't want to see the silent tax of our increase, buying power of our money decrease over time. So inflation does that. So in long term, this is going to help Bitcoin and strengthen its cause, really, because people don't want to see the Fed and central banks go out of control and damage fiat around the world. And this is the reason why it's good and it's bad. No, I would say this is the reason why it's good, and it's good if central banks screw up more and more and we get more massive liquidity injection. And that's great for the market, and long term, it's going to be great for Bitcoin because it just turns more people to Bitcoin. That's simply it. Companies are so bullish on the entire industries. Take a look at this headline. Goldman Sachs recently caught 3,200 staff. Okay. And so then many other banks, many other tech companies, and companies in general, even with this massive layoff, guess what they are doing? They are hiring for their crypto department because they want to continue exploring blockchain applications. According to Goldman Sachs, think about that, after they have laid off a massive amount of people, yet they are still hiring for crypto department. This is how bullish companies and banks and financial institutions all are. By the prospect of Bitcoin blockchain, decentralization, Web 3.0, wallets, DeFi, everything. It's absolutely amazing, and what's amazing is our current recovery rate. According to Plan B's stock to flow, we are definitely recovering. According to the last two cycles, you could see the bottom was kind of like that deep green. We are definitely bouncing off from the bottom point, and next up we will surpass the next level, which is around $100,000. It's just a matter of time before we break through that, and then it's just a matter of time. That's when Bitcoin will try to break $1 million. It's going to happen. It's just a matter of time when it's going to happen. So when you have Bitcoin on a longer scale, this is the monthly scale. Going all the way back to the beginning, when the stochastic, when it bottoms out and it crosses over, good things happen. And when these T zones, according to the trader Terry Gratz, these zones are basically these wedges and whenever you break through break through the trend, good things happen, especially on a long-term scale. And why this happening every 4 years is because the halving event, which makes Bitcoin even more scarce. Every single halving event makes Bitcoin more scarce. Less is being produced, less is being found, less is being circulated. And it's the only asset we have today that has finite supply. Nothing else that considering an investment really, but everything else in terms of commodities or precious metals or equities or bonds or anything else out there, they have an infinite supply versus Bitcoin, which has finite supply, controlled by code, totally decentralized around the world. Not even Satoshi himself could change Bitcoin's code at the point. Think about that. If he came back and he's like, yeah, I'm gonna change it, even he does not have the power to do so. It is completely decentralized at this point. The number of addresses with at least one Bitcoin, aka Wholecoiners, is nearing to 1 million addresses. That doesn't mean that there's 1 million Wholecoiners, because many people have multiple addresses, but still that number continues to rise slowly but surely. Sometimes it rises a lot. You can see when Bitcoin fell down to about $15,000. So many people were panicking, so many retail investors panicking, but what you don't know was that a lot of these people that don't panic, they don't say it's all going to hell, they were buying instead. I mean, it's clear that this big U-shaped, that uptrend happened when Bitcoin went down to $15,000. That is what you are supposed to do. You are supposed to buy when other people are selling. When there's blood on the street, even if that's your own blood, that's what you're gonna do. And that's clearly showing what's happening. But now it's slower, but it's still trending upwards. Becoming a whole coiner can one day make you a millionaire just by having one Bitcoin. Think about that. And I would like to add that I'm not a financial advisor or a financial expert of any sort. My opinions are backed by my own conscience. So I would recommend you to do your own research before investing, and stay tuned. And I will see you guys in my next video.